My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's Book Club program. I'm here today with Rick Culleton to talk about his fascinating and motivating memoir, Messed Up Like You. In it, he shares how having ADHD and anxiety didn't stop him from becoming a successful entrepreneur. Messed Up Like You is one of the selections available in Booktrib's Book Club program for March. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes out of your schedule today to talk to us, Rick.
Thank you, Dawn.
I love the blurb on this book, and I'm definitely going to read it. I was really fascinated by what I think is going to be a great story. So no spoilers, but what can you share about Messed Up Like You that we wouldn't find on the jacket cover or a simple Google search?
Well, the gist of the book is it starts out with a young man, myself, who didn't get going in the right direction, ended up in prison at an early age, didn't have much of a formal education, and was pretty much written off. I made some changes in my own life, not really knowing what I was doing, but kind of relocated myself, moved from New York to Texas, ran into a different group of people, and my life changed in a large part because of the people that I was around and the influences I had. And the book does a good job of demonstrating how our past doesn't define our future.
That seems like a built-in theme already for book clubs, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about why you think our book clubs should pick this book up.
Well, my hope is that somebody who reads this book knows someone who can really benefit from the story. Maybe they've got a child or a grandchild, or maybe they themselves have taken a path that looks like mine in the beginning and could possibly look like the way mine turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. Were there some specific themes that you want, that you're hoping, or is it just your story in general? Like, is there a message? What do you want readers to take away from it?
I mean, the message really is that your future is up to you. When you go through this book and you see what I've been through and how many times it would have been so easy for me to have ended up with some other story, a drug addict in prison, dead. But I didn't, and some of it is by chance. And I'm hoping that people learn from the chance decisions that I made to make decisions of their own mind, rather than letting things happen to them to guide them down the path. Because if I had it to do over, these seem like very simple choices that I made, but they weren't at the time. They were difficult to make because, I'm a smoker, I used drugs, I went to prison, I was fighting all the time. I mean, there's all these things that were going wrong. And then slowly, little by little, as I corrected them, my life became so much better. And I use all of these things that have happened to me in the past and all the battles that I fought as a foundation for where I'm going. And it is not a restraint that restricts me from having a positive life going forward.
Yeah. Memoirs are often difficult to sort of get behind in terms of, as a reader, why should I read this? But this one feels like an important and timely one. So thank you for sharing your story.
Welcome. And it's a little bit funny because it's all, if it's in the forward, but it's all around the idea of me getting my pilot's license and how unlikely that was. I have a terrible fear of heights, a lousy sense of direction. And so a lot of these stories tie back to things that I learned while I was flying a plane. So it remains entertaining and somewhat educational all at the same time.
Wait, so there's still a chance I can fly a plane? Well, probably not. I was like, I have a fear of heights.
You can fly a plane.
I don't know about that, but I'll take your word for it. Maybe after I read your book, I'll be inspired to do so. We're going to veer off of your book for a bit because we're still all building our 2024 2BRs. So what book, fiction or nonfiction, would you say is the best book you've read in the last little while, and why?
The most recent book that comes to mind is Make Your Bed. And I think I mentioned this in my book when I was younger. Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey, and even Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki were some books that I think kind of molded me and got me going and helped me head off in the right direction. But I'm a big fan of books that incentivize you to do something, to make something more of your life. And one of my favorite phrases out of Make Your Bed is, sometimes you're a sugar cookie. And once you get to that point in the book, and it means a lot. I mean, sometimes I use that regularly in my life when something happens to me. It's like sometimes you're a sugar cookie. That's a great book.
Love it. Sounds like I need to add that one as well, after I read yours, of course. I'd love to continue talking to you, but I know that we have to wrap this up. So thank you again for your time, and truly wish you best of luck with this book.
Thank you, Don, very much.
For more information about Rick's fascinating memoir, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website.